Good evening and welcome to the March 4th Council meeting. If you would please stand, Councilman Flores is going to lead us in the flag salute this evening.
Hi, everybody. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, and you can be seated. Our first proclamation this evening is for the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics National Nutrition Month, March 2025. I'd like to call up Rachel Phelps, Community Services Parks and Recreation Coordinator with the City of Chino, Amy Wong, Nutrition Supervisor with Chino Valley Unified School District, and Teresa Seifert, Operations Manager with Chino Valley Unified School District. And the proclamation reads, whereas on behalf of the citizens of Chino, I'm pleased to join the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, Community Services Parks Recreation Department, and Chino Valley Unified School District in an effort to focus attention on the importance of making informed food choices and developing sound eating and physical activity habits. Food is the substance by which life is sustained. The type, quantity, and amount of food individuals consume each day plays a vital role in their overall health and physical fitness. There's a need for continuing nutrition education and a wide-scale effort to enhance healthy eating practices. The City of Chino provides nutrition and physical education through Healthy Chino and its Healthy Chino Kids program at SOAR and High Five after-school sites. The City of Chino offers an environment for the community to grow and harvest fruits and vegetables through the city-operated Chino Community Garden. And whereas the City of Chino supports after-school gardens and discovery workshops, which create an environment for children and adults to learn how to grow fruits and vegetables and understand their nutritional benefits. And whereas the Chino Valley Unified School District participates in the National School Lunch Program that encourages students to eat a healthy and complete meals. The choices are a hot entree, milk, fruit, and a vegetable. Now, therefore, I, Eunice Emuloa, Mayor of the City of Chino, do hereby proclaim March 2025 as National Nutrition Month in the City of Chino and encourage all citizens to join the campaign and become concerned about their nutrition and the nutrition of others in the hope of achieving optimum health for both today and tomorrow.
Thank you, Mayor and members of the Council. I am proud to accept this proclamation on behalf of Healthy Chino. Healthy Chino has paved the way for nutrition and healthy eating habits with programs like Healthy Grilling and Healthy Chino Kids, which we collaborate with our after-school programs and the Chino Valley Unified School District. We have a lot of great programs coming up this month that focus on nutrition, such as this Saturday, we're doing our March Mobile Stop, where we partnered with Family Farms Chino, where participants can take a tour, learn about healthy eating habits, hopefully pick some strawberries while they're there. And then also we have our Healthy Family Day event coming up on March 15th, where we'll have vendors that focus on nutrition and healthy eating.
Hey everyone, my name is Amy. It's such an honor to be here represent my amazing nutrition services team from Chino Valley Unified School District. I also want to take a chance to recognize all our lunch ladies and gentlemen out there for doing their amazing job providing meals to every student each day with their caring. This month, March, is the National Nutrition Month, and this week is also National School Breakfast Week. We're celebrating by introducing new items, new breakfast items to our students every day this week, pair with seasonal fruit and also choice of milk. Under Universal Meals, we are able to provide a free meals to every student's breakfast and lunch on their school days, because we know that a nutritious and balanced meal is very critical for every student, for their physical health, for their mental being, and also their academic performance. So if you know or you have kids that participate in any school under CVUSD, please encourage them to come visit us at the cafeteria and enjoy meals on us. Thank you.
Okay, let's give them a hand. We'll get a picture, of course.
not official until we have the photo.
I know. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Next, we have recognition of the Healthy Chino 20-year anniversary cookbook cover challenge. To celebrate a Healthy Chino's 20th anniversary, Healthy Chino partnered with Chino Valley Unified School District, SOAR, and High Five after-school programs to host a cookbook challenge. Teachers and staff were encouraged to work together to create a healthy recipe to be included in an e-cookbook. A challenge was also presented to students to use their artistic skills to design the cover of the cookbook. Tonight, I'd like to introduce the winner of the cookbook cover challenge. I'd like to call up first Brittany Zarkow, Community Services Parks and Recreation Supervisor with the City of Chino. Rachel Phelps, Community Services Parks and Recreation Coordinator with the City of Chino. Holly Hortense Rodriguez, Doris Dixon SOAR Specialist, and Chanel Jocko, 5th grade, Doris Dixon SOAR Healthy Chino 20 Cookbook Challenge cover winner. Chanel, we have a certificate of recognition for you, and it reads, the City of Chino Council congratulates you for winning the Healthy Chino cover design contest for the 20-year cookbook challenge. Congratulations. Brittany? Thank you.
So thank you, Mayor and members of the council, for allowing us to recognize Chanel today, as well as all of the participants in this challenge. So as you mentioned, it is in honor of the Healthy Chino 20th anniversary. We wanted to provide a way to give healthy recipes out to the community and involve our students in health and wellness education, specifically about nutrition. So we partnered, as you mentioned as well, with Chino Valley Unified School District. We had Doris Dixon, Alicia Cortez, and Howard Cattle, as well as the City of Chino's SOAR and High Five programs, helped us develop this cookbook. Featuring delicious and healthy recipes. Teachers and city staff worked closely with the students and participants to discuss the importance of healthy eating and to create recipes that promote those nutritious habits. The idea was also for everybody to have access to quick and healthy meals to be created at home, and something that's easy for everybody to do. We also want to highlight Chanel's cover on the screen, so great job, Chanel. That will be the cover of our book. So we just wanted, on behalf of Healthy Chino, we wanted to thank Holly and your staff, as well as the participating schools from Chino Valley Unified as well. And a big congratulations to Chanel for your amazing artwork on the cover. The cookbook will be available for free at Healthy Family Day on March 15th. Rachel previously mentioned through a QR code. It's going to be a downloadable PDF. And it will also be available on cityofchino.org/healthychino for anybody to download or view as well. So thank you all for being a part of this special moment as we celebrate 20 years of Healthy Chino and a commitment to healthier living.
Congratulations, Chanel. I like the way you used fried eggs for the O's in the cookbook. That was very cute. Okay, let's get a picture. Chanel, you want to come up front? Congratulations. Good job. Okay, next we have the Business of the Month Award for March 2025. Our March Business of the Month has been serving top-notch fast casual meals to our community for over a decade. We're proud to recognize a business that has become a true staple in the City of Chino. For March 2025, we're honored to name Titan Burgers Chino as our Business of the Month. I'd like to call up the owner of Titan Burgers Chino, Andres Haralampopoulos. That's a hard name, Andres. Please join me up front. For over 13 years, Titan Burgers Chino has been a go-to spot for residents known for its exceptional fast casual food. Patrons rave about their breakfast burritos, fresh burgers, and healthy options, making it a favorite in our community. Titan Burgers Chino is about more than just great food. They're deeply committed to giving back, supporting local schools, fundraisers, and nonprofits that assist those in need. Their dedication to community involvement reflects their strong belief in supporting students and residents alike. Beyond their charitable efforts, Titan Burger Chino also prioritizes supporting fellow local businesses by sourcing eggs and fresh fruit from local farms. It's always inspiring to see small businesses working together to uplift one another. When asked why they chose to do business in Chino, Andres shared, Chino's a great city to do business. They're very business friendly. The people of Chino support small business and are very proud of their city. Please join me in congratulating Titanberger Chino for being our March 2025 Business of the Month recipient. And I'd like to present this certificate of congratulations, and it reads Titanberger's Chino, March 2025 Chino Business of the Month. The City of Chino thanks you for being a part of the Chino community, and it's presented this 4th day of March. Would you like to say a few words and introduce your family?
Yes, thank you very much for this honor, Mrs. Mayor and the whole city of Chino. We are very grateful for your business. Our city people always come to our establishments as well as the police department, and we thank you so much. Fire department comes too, and we are so grateful to be the city. We do love Chino. I remember Chino as a small kid when during the 80s when we used to roam, and it was a very small town, and it grew up to be such a big town, and congratulations to you too. You guys did a very good job and continue to do a good job. And we'd like to have you again, and for many years we'll be at the city and thank you. Yes. I want to thank my dad too. He's over here. He's been in this business for a while, since he was a kid, immigrant from Greece. This is George, my oldest son, Naya, Alexander, and my wife Mariana. You want to say something too? Yes. No?
Thank you, Chino, for having us and for enabling us to run a successful business. We're very grateful, and we're looking forward to many more years together.
Thank you.
Well, I'll tell you, you should be very proud of him. I'll tell you what, my husband, this is the only place he will go for breakfast burritos, and we're there at least 2 or 3 times a week. And I tell all of our new employees, too, Jackie especially, you want a good breakfast burrito? Go to Titan Burgers. Let's give them another hand. Oh, do you? Oh, okay. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, and last but not least, we have the Mayor's Home Beautification Award for March. I'd like to call up Paul and Karen Larson. They live on Eisenhower Court. Hello. And the certificate reads, thank you for the continued improvement and maintenance of your home, resulting in a substantial contribution to the overall appearance of the community. Now, many of you may already know, but Paul and Karen Larson have been a staple in our community for at least 150 years. Yes. They run the Children's Theater. No, yeah. Not as long as me. I've only been doing it 200 years. We're all getting old together.
That's right. We're all together, about the same time.
About the same time. No, they're absolutely phenomenal people who've been involved in our community for so long. Yep. When I selected your home, I had no idea it was yours. So
really?
This is truly a surprise. Yes.
We were like shocked. We were shocked and thrilled to get this wonderful award, and we worked really hard on fixing our yard, and it was sort of a dream we had. We planned it all out during the pandemic, nothing else to do. And so, and we had a really good friend of ours, David Gorsage, who helped us make our dream come true. He did our side yard and our front yard first. And we love it. It's really easy to maintain, and we're happy. Yeah, drought tolerant. We work through, and we have a little library there too, because we were both school teachers in Chino for 38 years each. So, yeah, this town has kind of grown on us, you know? Besides the theater, yes. So that's about it. We love it, and thank you for the
Well,
honor.
here's a beautiful picture of your home. We also have 2 pen and pencil sets and 2 lapel pens.
Wow.
And the coveted yard sign,
Oh, my gosh.
so that all
We'll
of
put
you.
it next to the library.
Yes. Okay, let's get a picture. Paul, would you like to say anything?
Just a quick thank you. We love being part of the Chino family. We moved here back in the 80s, started teaching back in 1976, and it's been a wonderful home for ourselves, for our kids, and for all the kids that have been ours through the schools and through the theater. So thank you very much, and thank you for this recognition.
Thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you very much.
Let's take our final breath.
Okay, prior to the council meeting starting, we did have a closed session. I'd like to ask our city attorney to read any action that was taken.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council, and all those present. The City Council met in closed session as announced by the mayor and held a discussion about the item listed on the closed session portion of the agenda as previously reported, namely conference with real property negotiator concerning the property at 5349 East Phillips Boulevard in Chino, with the negotiating parties being Thai Christopher Family Trust 818-1. Under negotiation was price and terms of potential acquisition. City Council held a discussion, provided unanimous direction, and no further reportable action was taken. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. City Manager Wright, do we have any additions or revisions to our agenda?
No changes, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Next on our agenda is public announcements. First, we invite you to celebrate health, wellness, and nutrition at our annual Healthy Family Day on Saturday, March 15th from 10 to 2 p.m. at the Neighborhood Activity Center. The City of Chino is partnering with the Chino Valley YMCA for a family-friendly celebration featuring exciting competitions, kids' activity stations, photo booths, and a superhero meet and greet. It's a day you don't want to miss. For more information, please visit cityofchino.org/HFD. Next, I encourage you to join us for the grand opening of Chino Rancho Park, Chino's newest park, on Saturday, March 29th at 9 a.m. Chino Rancho Park features the city's first pickleball courts, a fully inclusive and shaded playground, walking paths, an outdoor fitness area, and a theme that pays tribute to Chino's proud agricultural past. The events will feature pickleball demonstrations and a fitness demonstration from Healthy Chino. Please note, parking will be available at Victory Outreach Church at 11436 Central Avenue. Shuttle service to the park will be provided. Learn more at thecityofchino.org/Chino Rancho Park, and we'll see you there. And finally, if you want to learn how to stay safe, prepared during an emergency, I encourage you to sign up for free Community Emergency Response Team, or CERT, training happening from March 18th to March 29th at the Chino Police Department, located at 5450 Guardian Way. CERT teaches you essential skills such as disaster preparedness, disaster medical operations, light search and rescue operations, and more. Participants must be 18 years of age or older, with participants aged 16 to 17 allowed with permission from a parent or guardian. Participants will receive a free backpack, helmet, CERT vest, and certificate upon completion of all sessions. Space is limited, so sign up today. For more information to sign up for CERT basic training, please visit cityofchino.org/CERT. Next on our agenda is public communication. This is the time and the place for the general public to address the items that are not elsewhere on the agenda. Our first written request to speak is Chaplain Mike Spradlin from the Chino Police Department, who's going to lead us in an invocation.
Thank you, Mayor. Heavenly Father, we are so grateful to come together tonight, and I just can't help but think you're smiling at all the things that we've just talked about here, Lord. We've got kids being fed well in our schools, in our city. We've got a great cookbook that's come out, an amazing designer here present with us. Lord, we've got Titan burgers. Oh, my goodness, we have Titan burgers. This is awesome. We have a family, the Larsons, that have served this community for years and have improved their home. We have amazing events coming up. There's so much to be thankful for. And Lord, we realize and recognize that we have your hand of blessing on this community. We are so diverse. We are a great group of people. It's a good place to live and to work. And Father, you've united us together. And Lord, I ask you to continue that. It sounds like a commercial, I know, but Lord, being here for so long, I've realized that there's something unique about this community. And we ask you to continue pouring out your blessing upon us. I thank you for the leaders on the dais here tonight and their continued involvement in the city. I specifically pray for our mayor, and Lord, touch Eunice's knee. I know she's having a tough time with that, and we ask you for your healing touch on her. Lord, for those of us here in attendance that have some needs, Lord, I just ask that we lift them up to you right now. And we lay them at your feet. As we were praying at the department earlier for one of our employees' sons, who is, just after we prayed, getting better. Lord, I know that you work and you move. So we are confident in that. Lord, I thank you for the agenda tonight. Bless us. Let us proceed with wisdom that comes from you and discernment to know what decisions to make. Thank you again, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mike. Next written request to speak is Maureen Mendoza.
Hi, I wanted to speak on two subjects. The first one is thank you so much for putting up the street sweeper sign on Cypress, but there's only one sign. So nobody really knew what was going on. And yes, you guys put this huge, massive sign up for, I think it was there for a month, but it was actually down on the ground for about 2 months because of the wind and the water would take it down. And when you go up north, there's just one sign. You go south, there are no signs. That's where everybody got, I don't know if it was a courtesy ticket or a ticket, but if it was a ticket, you really can't expect those people to pay because a lot of these people come in through, I think it's called Fillmore Street. Fillmore Street's up here, the sign's down here. So they come up here and then they do a U-turn to leave and go out that way. So they have no idea that there's really actually sweep cleaning gonna happen. So you really need to start putting signs on the south side and one more on the north side above. And then also I wanted to come a long time ago, but I really wanna appreciate the police department for putting that camera up on Cypress by the 60 freeway. I feel so much safer when I walk my dogs at 4 a.m. And then my next thing is, I wrote you guys a letter and I never got a response. So I would like a written response if at all possible. I believe the meeting was on, I think February 4th when I came to your city hall meeting. I gave them another copy of the letter, so if I could get a response back, I'd appreciate it because one of my things is about the agenda for the ARC, that part of it is on your website, but then if you want to see the agenda, I have to go to the Ontario website, to the ARC site to get to the agenda. Well, my problem is when they cancel meetings, which they did this month, if they have a special, they're not going to post it. They don't post it outside their building. They don't post it online because I have pictures of it, the last one. So that's why in my letter, I was asking for you guys to personally, on your website, when you get a hold of that agenda, to post it on your website so I can have access to it, because Ontario City doesn't always do that. And I want transparency when it comes to the ARC, okay? Thank you.
You're welcome. And Linda, will you see that she gets a response to her letter? And then, hey, Jen, you probably took notes on the street sweeping. Thank you. Okay, those are the only written requests I have to speak. Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to address the council on an item that's not on the agenda? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to the consent calendar. Wait, we have a presentation from the Chino Valley Chamber. I'd like to call up Mr. Zeb Weldon, President of the Chamber. Sorry, Zeb, I almost skipped right over you.
Quite all right, quite all right. So number one, thank you for the opportunity to share this impact report with you. What I want to do is every year we've been putting together an impact report that shows the work that the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce has done for our business community, but also for our community at large. So to start off on that, one of the things that I would like to say is I wanted to thank the council. I want to thank the Chino staff. I think there's been a renewed focus in economic development in Chino, and we're really excited as a Chamber of Commerce to see that. One of the things I also really appreciate is, we've had a lot of ribbon cuttings lately, and you guys have come up and shot some great videos and got some great content, and city staff and city council have been there to attend those ribbon cuttings. So that means a lot to our businesses. So I just want to thank you for highlighting our businesses in the community and then also participating in their grand opening and ribbon cuttings. About 3 years ago, we pitched this plan to the community at large. We called it Upskill Chino Valley. So Upskill, UPSKILL. So we wanted to advance the interests of our businesses in this region. One of the things we noticed coming out of COVID was that there was help wanted signs everywhere, and so we were really trying to help our businesses connect with folks. And we thought, in terms of the training that we had heard over the years, that we really wanted to help our businesses find people, because this is going to be an issue for businesses across the country, for communities across the country, is making sure that we're retaining our talent that lives and operates here. So we want to create a program that did that. So we pitched this to a bunch of folks. We got a significant amount of funding to help us pursue this work from our business community, but also from our state and our county. So we wanted to highlight some of the work that we did over the last few years. So we have this. This is available through our website. You can go check it out at chinovalleychamber.com. There is a blog post that talks about our impact report. It's the top blog post on the page. I have some printed out copies, and I hope you guys all got printed out copies up there. So I'm going to highlight it. There is letters from the president, letters from our vice president, and then our team. But these are the things that I'm going to try to rush through this super quick, because I know you guys got busy schedules. But when it comes to workforce development, one of the things that we've been doing is we've been helping secure funds for our businesses to help hire local people and help train local people. So the reality of it is actually so we've been running this program for about 2 years. In 2 years, we've actually secured about $700,000 that we've given to businesses, or that we will be giving to businesses, to help train their employees so that they can get more skills and earn higher wages. Support our local businesses. Our businesses grow. Our employees grow. So we've helped secure $700,000. These are state funds that we're giving directly to businesses. So we help secure that. We have worked with the county, San Bernardino County Workforce Development Board. Through them, they've put out an RFP. The chamber responded to it. We've helped place over 100 people per year with businesses here locally. So we're helping local people that are looking for jobs, that are having a tough time trying to find jobs. We are placing them with local businesses that operate in the Chino Valley. And so when you do that, you're taking people that are not, contributing tax income, revenue, all that stuff. We're doing that. So from an ROI perspective, this is phenomenal for the businesses, it's phenomenal for the employees, and it's phenomenal for the community. We also got some funding to help those with justice-involved backgrounds, so giving people a second chance. That this goes to businesses. It goes to businesses to help get these people on board, train them, make sure they're prepared for the workforce. There's a whole bunch of other collaborations that we've participated in. The Inland Regional Energy Network is one of those organizations. So the energy sector, if you're familiar with it, there's a lot of funding that is going in to support the infrastructure that's coming in. So there's a lot of business opportunities. So our businesses are taking advantage of some of those resources. We are preparing a supplier event. So basically, there are opportunities to work with utilities agencies. So we're making sure that our local businesses are getting connected with these utility agencies. There's substantial funding that would come to those businesses that operate here in the Chino Valley. We've partnered with IEGO, we've partnered with San Bernardino County Economic Development, we've partnered with the U.S. Chamber, we've partnered with a whole bunch of different programs to bring resources to businesses here in Chino and Chino Hills. Here's some of the statistics. So we placed more than 400, and number's gone up since then, but we've placed more than 435 people in jobs. If you do the math on that, and you're assuming it's about $50,000 per employee that's working here, it's a substantial impact economically for the region. We've helped out, and those are only the ones that we know about. So we've had 5,212 people participate in our job fairs and workforce programs, and so we don't know everybody that's gotten jobs through those, but we know that they've gone through the process. Some examples of some case studies, ServPro is one of those. We gave more than $26,000 directly to them organizations so they could hire people and train local people. And so it's just a win-win. Businesses benefit, our local community benefits, people get jobs. It's a great thing. We've also partnered with Chaffee College. So we do a lot of different things with them. We host roundtables, we set up clinical placements, but basically what we do is we give our citizens that go to Chaffee College real world opportunities to work with businesses. And so this is unique. This is not something they did before. They partnered with us. I actually went to Ventura 2 days ago or last week, I can't remember. But we went to Ventura to speak about the program that we have because it's received such recognition across the country. I will also share, I didn't share this earlier, but San Bernardino County Workforce Development Board, same thing. Their partnership with the Chamber has received national recognition for the work that they do in the county space. So here's some of the things that we've done. We've helped set up a dental club. We've helped set up a business club. We've helped set up a Veterans Affairs club, IT security programs in partnership with Chaffee College. And what we're doing is we're just bringing businesses to Chaffee College. On the entrepreneurship front, that upskill Chino Valley is 4 things. It's workforce development is number 1. I think I covered most of that. Entrepreneurship is number 2. So we really want to create entrepreneurship opportunities for residents of the Chino Valley. I say that from my background. I found entrepreneurship when I was like 30. I wish I had known some entrepreneurs when I was younger. I feel like I would have been drawn to that sooner, but I didn't have any opportunities. So we're trying to set that up for our residents. We're also trying to set that up for our youth. So we did more than 65 entrepreneurial related events. We have 456 members, which represent more than 10,000 employees across Chino and Chino Hills. Last year we did 16 ribbon cuttings. It feels like we've probably done more this year already. We did 3 over the weekend, so that was something that we helped facilitate, make sure that our businesses feel welcome, and also make sure they're aware of local resources. In partnership with the city, so that's another thing I want to thank you guys for, is we put together a proposal to help bring an entrepreneurship center into our community. So that is still underway, and we are working very closely with the City of Chino team and super excited about that. We hosted an Inland Empire Entrepreneurship Forum. We had 4 panels of 3 people that were born and raised in the Inland Empire that built their businesses here. It was a sold-out crowd at Top Golf, so it was an excellent event, which we had local businesses and entrepreneurs connecting and collaborating with each other. We also do this thing called the Kids Entrepreneurship Fair. We had 360 participants. We had more than 2,000 shoppers at this thing. If you haven't been, I highly recommend it. These are local kids. They make stuff. They sell it at the shops at Chino Hills to the audience that's there. It's the cutest thing ever. But they also get exposure to entrepreneurship and what running a business looks like. So I highly recommend participating in that. We've done this pitch competition, which is a Shark Tank type pitch competition. We've had 30 participants per year. We usually have about 5 finalists. And over the years, I think we've given out like $15,000 to $20,000 of scholarship funds to help these folks either go to college or start their business. On the economic development space, we have gotten more than we, so basically we do a couple of different things. In economic development, we do some roundtable work. I wouldn't say it's economic development, but we do legislative advocacy as well. So last year we signed 40 letters of support. These are all for pro-business initiatives that are help designed to support our community, our business community, making sure that we're making the environment a good place to do business here locally. We were recognized by Cal Chamber. So Cal Chamber is kind of like the state body that advocates for business work. We were recognized as Small Business Advocate of the Year. And then we've hosted multiple roundtables, and I'll give one example of those. We've done a couple with the Chino PD. We did one a while ago on retail theft. They hosted one on cargo theft not that long ago. So we've been participating in those programs to help support businesses that are experiencing a lot of challenges. And actually, where we did our ribbon cutting the other day, it looked like there was break-ins that happened at local businesses at the place that we're at as well. So it's an issue that's impacting businesses. We're trying to help support legislation that will make it safer to do business here in Chino and Chino Hills. So we do about 1 to 2 roundtables a month. We have one coming up. It's a manufacturing roundtable. So these are manufacturers. They're coming in. We're bringing together. We're connecting them with resources. But we're also solving their pain points. So these businesses that have issues and challenges, we work to try to solve those as a community. Another thing I want to thank you guys for is you guys have been highly supportive of our Chino Valley Leadership Collaborative Program. This is something that we started 3 years ago. We're in our 3rd year of doing it. Every year we have City of Chino representatives, Chino PD, Chino Valley Fire, and then local businesses. And this is a great opportunity to collaborate leaders with one another. We go explore different locations around Chino to get behind-the-scenes look. On Friday, we are going to Chaffee College to get a behind-the-scenes look of what they do there. Last week, we went to California Institution for Men, or last month, we went to California Institution for Men and California Institution for Women and Boys Republic to get a behind-the-scene tour there. We've had 73 participants. We've visited 30 businesses. We've raised $35,000 for community good projects. This last year, I can't remember, yes, Kurt was in this one. The last year we did the Chino Children's Community Theater, and with Kurt's help and a bunch of others, they raised $20,000 for the Children's Community Theater. We also have a student program that focuses on leadership development. We also do a lot of marketing. My background was in social and digital marketing, so we do a ton on social media and digital space to try to help advocate and support our businesses. So we do send a lot of correspondence out. And our main goal is to build awareness, help connect and support local businesses through emails, through social media, through a variety of different other platforms. So we do have a good marketing approach on that. And then we do major events. And so we do about 1 major event a month. The next one coming up is our Salute to Public Safety. The chief was telling me, he's like, "Are you ready for our event next week?" And I said, "What event is that?" Because I totally forget when our events are coming up. But we have our Salute to Public Safety next week. It is sold out. And then we have our Taste of Chino Valley that is coming up. We have a couple of others that we're working on right now. So there's a list of some of our major events. We do an economic forecast. We do a business awards center. We do a Taste of Chino Valley. We do host both states of the city. We do an energy and transportation summit, Salute to Public Safety, and that entrepreneurship event I mentioned, among many other things. Last year, we did 193 different events. And then the last thing I'll highlight is we do have a lot of sponsors. These are folks that help make the chamber what it is, but these are people that are investing in the work that we do because of how impactful it has been for them. And we work hard to try to make sure that we're supporting our local businesses. I want to share a couple of things before I close, which are, one of the things, like when you look at the Chamber of Commerce and what it does, we bring return on investment to the community. Investment in the chamber and the work that we did with the impact report, we got funding for it. The impact that we're bringing, or the economic impact that we're bringing to the community, is substantially larger than what's being invested in the work that we do. If you look at a membership of the chamber, it's $450 for a year, which is pennies when you're trying to help engage and support the community. For the amount of impact that you can see through the impact report and the stuff that we put together, it's substantial return on investment when you invest in what your business community does. I want to give one example. There's tons of examples, but I'll just share one that happened recently. We had the H Smart grand opening, which was phenomenal. There's lines out the door of people walking in. So I'm walking with the architect who helped design this space. And so he's talking about the refrigerators we use. He just says, "These are phenomenal refrigerators. It's a really great thing to do." And he's talking about the company. I was like, "Well, which refrigerator company do you use?" And he said it was a name that I didn't recognize. But I said, "Did you know that Hussman, which does refrigerators, is located right here in Chino?" And he did not know that. So that's a connection that we're able to make. But he was familiar with the refrigerators. But that's a connection we're able to make. If they're able to source that and use that across the country, it's a phenomenal success for our local business because they're collaborating and partnering together. So when you support a chamber, it brings a strong community together. The last thing I'll say is we are catalysts for business growth. Our goal is to help businesses grow. We don't do business for them, but we give them the resources and opportunities to do it. We're conveners of leaders and influencers, so we bring people together. And then we are champions for a stronger community. So with our impact report, we hope we did a great job for the community. We want to thank you all for your support and all the work that you guys do to help support our business as well. And just want to highlight that work and say thank you.
Well, Zeb, you have absolutely turned this chamber around compared to what it was before you came on board and took over. So congratulations. The chamber has really grown and is now doing a fabulous job in our community.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate that, and thank you for the time.
Thank you very much. Okay, next on the agenda is consent calendar. Do any council members wish to have any items pulled for discussion? Seeing none, we need a motion and a second for approval. We have a motion from Councilman Flores, second by Mayor Pro Tem Burton. Please vote. And the item passes 4 with 1 absent, that being Councilmember Comstock. Next on our agenda is a public hearing. Prior to the vote of the City Council, any member of the audience will have the opportunity to address the council on the item listed below. Council requests, but it's not required that you state your name and address prior to making any remarks. Item number 6, Assembly Bill 481, Funding, Acquisition, and Use Policy. This item is to the introduction of ordinance, excuse me, number 2025-002, approving the Chino Police Department's funding, acquisition, and use policy for the requirements of Assembly Bill 481. I'd like to declare the public hearing open and ask for a staff report from Lieutenant Aaron Kelleher and Chief Kevin Menson.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council. So we're back. This is our 3rd year now having to present on our military equipment per Assembly Bill 481. I'm going to turn it over to Lieutenant Aaron Kelleher that's going to provide the staff report.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council. As the Chief mentioned, tonight is our opportunity to come before you to discuss the Chino Police Department's policy on the use of quote-unquote military equipment as defined in Assembly Bill 481. By way of background, Assembly Bill 481 passed and was signed into law in January of 2022, and it required the governing bodies of police agencies or law enforcement agencies in the state who utilize the term military equipment as defined to have a policy in place which governs the acquisition, purchase, and use of said equipment. So if you could click the next slide. So first and foremost, it requires us to have a promulgated policy. We've had a policy in place for years in requirement with 481. That policy is continuously updated on our website as required. That's under our Lex Pol Section 708. For those members of the public who don't know, our policies are all online and they're available to the public. It does require us to publish a draft of the military equipment use policy on our website ahead of the public meeting and public hearing, which we've done. It's on the website all the time. It also requires us to publish a report to include each type of military equipment as defined, that's approved for use, and then hold one well-publicized and conveniently located community engagement meeting within 30 days of submitting the annual equipment report. Next slide. So it's important to point out that the Chino Police Department doesn't participate in the military DERMO program, which is the Defense Department of Defense's surplus equipment program, otherwise known as the 1033 program. We don't participate, we don't get military surplus equipment from the military. The term military equipment is used in AB 481 is misleading on its face. The equipment that we use as defined is all commercial off-the-shelf equipment. It's nothing that we obtain from the military. For instance, one of the vehicles defined is our mobile command center, which is just a Class A motorhome that's been converted to use as a command post. That's considered quote-unquote military equipment under this policy. But we do have a policy as pursuant to state law. Really the important thing to note is that the equipment that's being defined that we have, that we utilize, we utilize in defense of life. We utilize it to de-escalate. We utilize it to gain space, to be able to increase the safety to our community, to our officers, and ultimately in the pursuit of the preservation of life. Next slide. So as a summary of the type of equipment that's talked about here, the vehicles that we have that fall under the term military equipment, once again, these are all commercial off the shelf. You don't have to, we're not getting these from the military. Our mobile command center, which is the Class A motorhome, our tactical response vehicle, which is a Suburban that has an equipment rack in the back that we utilize. It has a command post and also has some support equipment for tactical responses. Our armored rescue vehicle, it's commonly known as the Bearcat. The SWAT equipment vehicle, which is just a Sprinter van that has equipment for the SWAT team in it where they can charge their equipment and keep it stored. And then finally, our crisis negotiation team vehicle that they use as a mobile negotiation center. Once again, it's a Sprinter van. None of this would be anything that anybody would consider military equipment if they were using that term as it's commonly used. The other equipment that's defined that we have, that the department has, is unmanned aircraft systems, drones. Our drones are commercial off-the-shelf drones. We don't get them from the military. They're not equipped with weapons. Less lethal launchers, those are things that we utilize to intervene and de-escalate situations. So those are like our 40 millimeter exact impact, the things look like racket balls that come out of the specialized launchers. Our pepper balls, which utilize powdered pepper, pava powder to deliver pain and incapacitation to violent suspects. And then finally, we have chemical agents that we can use for riot control and barricaded suspect situation. The diversionary devices, those are things commonly called flashbangs. Those are used by our SWAT team in order to safely enter buildings that there are potential threats to life inside of. The long-range acoustical device, the LRAD, that's simply a very powerful microphone speaker system that allows us to make announcements over long distances in very targeted directions. So if somebody's inside of a building and we need to make announcements to them, the LRAD, you can hear it through the walls. It's pretty loud, and we can aim those to help make announcements. Tactical robots, our SWAT team does employ robots. Our patrol personnel have access to robots on our tactical response vehicle. They're hand-thrown robots that have two wheels on them that roll around, and then the SWAT team has some more advanced robots that have the ability to open doors. Once again, none of these are armed. These are simply tools that we utilize to extend our reach and our eyes and our vision. And then finally, the other category that we have on here is our rifles that are assigned to our officers. Those rifles meet the definition of military equipment, but they're not military rifles. They're obtained from Daniel Defense, who's a civilian firearms manufacturer. So that's just a listing of the equipment that we have. Pursuant to 481, we did hold the public meeting on February 20th, 2025 at the Chino Police Department. We had about 7 people who attended that meeting. Nobody really had any questions about the equipment that was talked about, so we didn't have any feedback from the public on that particular subject. But that concludes our presentation tonight, and prepared to answer any questions that the council may have.
Aaron, I'm really curious. It seems like there's a lot of time put into this. What is the purpose of Bill 481?
Yes, ma'am. The purpose behind 481 was in response to the civil unrest that occurred in 2020. There was a perception by the public that police were using military equipment. So a lot of people were looking at Bearcats and thinking the Bearcats are military equipment. They're not. They're made by a company called Lenco in Boston. They're not military equipment. So they were looking at that saying, hey, we got all these departments who are utilizing quote unquote military equipment. There were some agencies that were obtaining military equipment through the 1033 program, such as rifles. Most of the equipment agencies get from the 1033 program, though, is very benign stuff. You're talking like cots, tents, mechanical supplies, generators. But some of them were getting things like less lethal launchers that they could use from the military. So the intent behind 481 was to give the public a voice in how their communities utilize these quote-unquote tools. They painted with a very broad brush when they use the term military equipment. Once again, none of this equipment that we have has anything to do with the military, other than somebody looked at it and said, that looks like military equipment. So
What was their end purpose? To get the police departments not to use military equipment?
to discourage the use of any of this equipment to make it more difficult for agencies to comply with. As you said, it takes a lot of work for us to do this every year, to compile the use, to compile the list. If you look in the report, obviously the agenda has a very extensive list of the quantities and types that we have. They're potential use scenarios, the lifespan, the cost associated with them. It's all to make people jump through hoops in order to take those tools away from law enforcement.
Okay, thank you. Any comments or questions? Any comments or questions from the audience? Okay, seeing none, then I will close the public hearing and ask for a motion and a second.
And if I
Okay,
may.
we have a motion from Councilman Flores and second from Mayor Pro Tem Burton. Mr. Galante.
Thank you, Mayor. The City Council has before it the following ordinance number 2025-002, entitled An Ordinance of the City Council of the City of Chino, California, approving the updated Chino Police Department's military equipment use policy. And that's being read by title only and waiving further reading. Thank you.
Okay, please vote. And the item passes 4 yes with 1 absent. Thank you, gentlemen. Next on the agenda is Mayor and Council reports. Mine's rather short this time. Thursday, February 20th, I attended the West End Mayor's Roundtable with City Manager Reich. Discussion items were the new animal shelter and also the homeless issues in the valley. Councilman Burton and I, plus the staff members, met with our water attorney, Jimmy Gutierrez, to be brought up to date on some issues. On February 25th, many of us attended the Chino Valley Mayor's Prayer Breakfast, where Riley Gaines was the speaker. There were over 1,000 people there. It was very, very well attended, and she was quite inspirational. That little gal's been through a lot. February 27th, again, several of us read to Mrs. Garrison's 3rd grade class, which is always a lot of fun. And then today, I met with City Manager Reich prior to the council meeting, and then we had closed session. Okay, Mayor Pro Tem Burton, you have item number 7.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I'd like to request discretionary funds to be forwarded to the Rotary Club and also the Seroptimus Club.
Okay, ask for a motion and a second for $250 each to those 2 items. We have a motion from Councilman Flores, second from Councilman Lucio. Please vote. And item passes 4 yes with 1 absent.
Thank you, Mayor. On the 19th, I attended the Planning Commission meeting, and on the 22nd, I attended the grand opening of Ayala Park Fields 1 through 4. The Chino Girls Fast Pitch opening day was on that day as well, along with an AED safe station that was placed at that location by the Chino Fire Department. What a great day that was. If you folks have not been to Ayala Park for a while, I would encourage you to go over there. The accessibility improvements are incredible. The amount of concrete, you can get around very, very easily now from one point to another. The shade structures, the dugouts, everything associated with it, the grass, the fields, compliments to our community services department. Great job. It was just a wonderful day. City Manager Wright, thank you for being there as well. We really had a great time, and it's going to really benefit the community, all these improvements out there at Ayala Park. On the 24th, my one-on-one with the city manager, and on the 25th, I also attended the Chino Valley Mayor's Prayer Breakfast with the mayor, and then I attended a Water Master meeting after that. On the 26th, we had Student Government Day here within the city. It's a day where high school students gather together from Don Lugo, Chino High, and I believe Chino Hills High School as well. They get into various positions throughout the city, including city council, city manager, police chief, fire chief. All the different positions are filled by high school students, and it really gives them an opportunity to see what government is all about, and it gives them an opportunity to see if they would like to maybe get involved in that later on in their life. On the 27th, as the mayor had mentioned, I read to Mrs. Garrison's second grade class out at Howard Cattle Elementary School. Councilmember Comstock was with me as well. She read, and then the mayor came in, and then the chief of police came in. So we were very well represented, and I'll tell you, Mrs. Garrison's class really enjoyed it. So thank you. Then I attended a Water Master Board meeting, and then I finished up the day at the Chino Police Department welcoming and swearing in ceremony. We had several positions that were added to the PD, and I'm sure the chief will mention that when he gets up, but very well attended meeting. It was pretty incredible. On the 1st, I attended the 15th annual Chino Youth Museum Derriere 5K down at Ayala Park. I believe we had about 450 people or so out there. What a great showing, and the kids that participated, they're just so cute. These kids were just really hardcore runners, and they just really wanted that medal, and they all got them. But it was pretty neat. On the 3rd, my meeting with the city manager. I had a meeting with a resident on that day as well. And I'd like to say congratulations to Paul and Karen Larson for the home beautification, as well as Titanberger for their business of the month. And I'd just also like to acknowledge right now a member of the audience, former council member Walt Pocock is in the audience. I'd just like to acknowledge Walt. Walt continues to do some incredible things right here in the city. He still heads up our corn feed run, which is coming up in April, I believe, isn't it? April? What a great time that is. But Walt, thanks for being here tonight. It's great to see you. And that concludes my report, Mayor.
Okay, Councilmember Comstock is not with us this evening, so next is Councilmember Flores.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Walt, I second what Mayor Pro Tem Kurt said. I'm happy to see you as well. I first want to highlight Titanberger. We've had a few grand openings over the last couple of weeks, and one of the messages I shared with them is that if you're a business owner, business owner, it's the perfect time to be in Chino because of our focus on economic development. With our team who's usually present, we're here to help them expand, and we're here to help them recruit. So I'm happy to hear, Titanberger was the business of the month, and I second what you said, Mayor. Their breakfast burritos are really good. I'm gonna kind of cut this short. I just want to highlight two events I attended, and those were over the weekend. As President Zeb Wildborn mentioned, we had a grand opening for Golden Hour Aesthetics and Wendy's Beauty Bombs Ball. That was more of a re-grand opening. As I mentioned, that's one of the businesses who's expanded, who's added more to their services, and it was just a great day. They had tacos out there, and it's always good when some of these grand openings have food as a part of their grand opening.
That's why, Carla, that's why he goes.
That's part of the reason why I go, Mayor. That same day, we had a ribbon cutting for Ranch Sports Facility, which is off of Euclid Avenue. Happy to see that opening. Kind of followed that through the planning commission phase, and just good to see them. They shared good experiences that they had with our staff in terms of opening and getting that going. Melissa, I see you in the crowd as well. Again, want to thank you for always showing up, representing Kurt Hagman, and again, just a great event. Had a chance to go in and tour the facility. It's really, really big, and there was a lot of kids out there, a lot of sports programs out there, and they have a racquetball station that they have there. They have basketball courts. They have a whole lot, and again, just happy to see the growth in terms of our economic development in the city of Chino. The next day, on the 2nd of March, I attended the Sweat Athletics grand reopening. They're located over at the Promenade off of Philadelphia. Again, that's another business who's expanding their services, and the facility there, again, just like the Ranch Sports Facility. It's a really nice facility. They have batting cages in there, basketball courts. They have the soccer/football, field that they have in there. They have free weights in there, and it was good to see on their grand opening they already had, sports teams who were coming over and signed up to, to have training that day. So it was great. Matter of fact, that day I'll give Zev a shout out for all the hard work he does. Number one, he doesn't shy away from bringing his family on some of these grand openings, and I appreciate that. And number two, this was a Sunday grand opening, which was probably the first we've had in the city, and Zeb had the courage to play some soccer that morning and rush over and still attend this grand opening. So again, Zeb, thank you for that and just all your support for our small businesses here in Chino. And with that, Mayor, this morning I had my one-on-one with City Manager Linda Wright, and that concludes my comments.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Lucio, you have item number 8.
Yes. I'd like the approval for community support funds to Chino American Little League, Chino AYSO Region 67, Chino Girls Fast Pitch Softball, Chino High School Sports Boosters Club for Chino High School Wrestling Program, Chino National Little League, Chino Pop Warner, Chino Youth Boxing Foundation, and the Kiwanis Club for the Cornfeed Run.
Okay, we have a motion from Councilman Flores, second from Mayor Pro Tem Burton. Please vote. And the item passes 4 yes with 1 absent. Rest of your report.
Okay. On the 25th, I attended the Chino Valley Mayor's Prayer Breakfast. Later that day, I was able to do an inspection with the state of California for Chino Rancho Park. The park turned out amazing. I can't wait till it opens. Fully accessible. And it was nice to see from when we went to the groundbreaking where we had, a tractor out there to what it is now. And it's a beautiful facility, 2 pickleball courts. And it just, it really, really looks good. And even the state of California, the representative of the state of California was just completely complimentary of what we did and the way it looks and the way it turned out. It's really going to be a great park for our community. Later that day, I also had a meeting with the city manager. We also had an ad hoc general plan meeting. And then we finished with an infrastructure streets committee meeting that day. On the 28th, I attended the soft opening of Smash Golf, and it turned out really, really nice. They have, I believe, 5 bays, 1 private bay, and it's all simulated golf, but depending on the course that you play, it'll move up and down, so that if you're hitting uphill, the grounds will move up. Same thing with the ball, so it gives you that same thing. And then if you're like me, when you hit the ball and you see what direction it went, and then they also show you the video of what you did, so you get to humiliate yourself twice. But they also have a microbrewery that's attached to it. But if you want to take your kids, because I took my kids, they also, instead of just the golf course, you can do like kind of a video game type thing. Like we were playing video games where there was like a ghost town or like an old town, western town, and then the kids could hit the ball, and you set it to kind of a easy setting so the ball rolls, and then it just rolls, and it just destroys different parts of the town, and the people that destroy the most obviously win the game. So the kids really, really enjoyed it, and I think it's just a great way of getting little kids out there just to swing the club, and once they start swinging the club, then maybe you can get them to start enjoying swinging the club and playing golf. So with me, I needed all the help I could get, so I signed up. Just because I'm going to be golfing soon with Chris here, and he always makes me look bad. So, on the 2nd, I attended Chino Days at the Empire Strikers, and again, Chris was out there. He kicked the first kick during the game, and he did a great job. And it was really, really fun. I'd never been to an indoor soccer league game, but it's kind of like hockey, where if you commit a foul, they take you out, and you play with 1 less players, and it's only 6 people per team, so it was kind of interesting, but it was fun at the same time, so it was a good turnout for us. On the 3rd, today, I attended a meeting with, actually yesterday, I attended a meeting with Chino Hills to talk about regional transportation projects, mainly the ones along Prado, so Pine Avenue and Euclid Avenue, as well as some of the projects that they have happening on Chino Hills Parkway. So they're going to redo Chino Hills Parkway, and as you know, the north side of that street is ours, so we were talking about, and we agreed to, as they improve their side, that we're going to improve our side, so that the street itself is improved completely. And then today I had a meeting with the city manager, and one of the things I want to talk about, we finally in the Chino Valley have a goat. And the state championships of wrestling were this weekend. Chino High School has their first state champion, and not just in Chino High School, but that goes for Ayala, Chino Hills, Don Lugo. We've never had a state champion. The state champion is Natalie Blanco at 155 pounds. And if you look at it, in 23-24 school year, the girls had 64,000 female wrestlers that wrestled. So there was a little bit more this year that participated. And California is one of the only 3 states in the United States that has a true only one state champion per weight. So California, New Jersey, and Indiana are the only states that only have one state champion. Other states all have multiple state champions. California is one that only has one. So her being able to win a state title is very, very impressive. And if you're not familiar with what happens is every school participates in a league. So they have to be the top 3 people in the league to advance to CIF. Then there's different CIFs within California. Then they have to be the top 5 in CIF. And then if they advance from CIF, then they have to go to Masters. And if they're the top 10 from Masters, and Masters is only like Northern California, Central California, San Diego, Southern section. And then I don't think the city has one, but there's one other one. And if you go to that Masters and you win, then the top 10 advance to the state title. And then each weight at the state title is 40. So literally, if you're the state champion, you beat somebody that beat somebody that beat somebody that beat somebody, so they truly are the champion. So to recognize her as a state champion, I think, is a big deal. But to also talk about the program that they have there in Chino. Chino, out of over 10,000 schools that participate in wrestling, Chino's ranked in California 45th. And that's with really no funding. When you look at schools like the top 3, Buchanan, Doc Buchanan, when he was the superintendent up there, started that program up there, and all those schools up there are phenomenal. You're talking about Clovis North, Buchanan, all of them. And there's a lot of money that gets poured into by the community. So that's why they're in the top. Poway, same thing, down there in San Diego. And then, of course, you have like St. John Bosco, which is a private school. But for him not having any really support from our cities or outside unit people that are donating money to him, he had another female. Her name was Tilly Kakunk, I think. She came in 6th place, so she placed as well. He had a male by the name of Zach Samano placed in 5th. And then he had 2 other kids that were state qualifiers, a Nathan Canwal and a Jonathan Madera. So he actually had 5 kids in his school that advanced, which is just phenomenal for a program that really has no support and really has no kid program. So most of the programs that are very successful in state are kids that come from youth programs, and then they feed into the high schools, and really Chino has no true youth program. They have one at Ayala, which is called Ayala Smash, but it's only runs like part of the year, and really to be competitive, you need a league that goes year-round, because it's not just freestyle. You also, you go freestyle, folk style, and then Greco. And we really need to know all 3 to be able to be competitive. So it's something I think that we should look at. We should really push for it. Wrestling is the one sport. It's not like football. It's not like baseball, where you have to have a Division I body. You have to be over 6 foot tall. You have to, be 300 pounds if you want to be on the line. Wrestling is one of those where you can be a 5 foot something kid, and as long as you have a fight in you, you can go out there and you can compete, and you can go into one of these Division I programs. And California puts a lot of great wrestlers out there, especially in Division I. So that's just what I wanted to say about the program. That's why I always try to donate money to Chino High School, because they're doing some great things over there, and they really need as much support as they can get. And I want to finish by just saying my son Lucas's birthday is coming up, and he'll be turning 5 years old before the next meeting, so I just wanted to wish him happy birthday. And that's it for me.
Okay, thank you. City Manager Reich, your report this evening.
No report, Mayor.
City Attorney Galante.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a quick update. There was a fairly significant U.S. Supreme Court decision this morning in the case that the City and County of San Francisco filed against the Environmental Protection Agency, and it was challenging the requirements imposed on discharge of stormwater and wastewater. the usual rules are that when you get this National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System permit, NPDES permit,
NPDES.
that every city and county needs to have, there are rules that essentially say there are certain amounts of pollutants and materials that can go into the waste stream or the stormwater system. And to prevent that, we have these capture systems that Jen may be able to talk about way better than I can. But essentially, those rules were upheld by the court. To the extent they give you good, clear guidelines and you comply with those guidelines, the U.S. Supreme Court said that's fine. But there are other permits that call what they have a term called the end user prohibitions. And it essentially says that if pollutants end up in the ultimate end use of that waste stream or stormwater drainage system and cause pollution in whatever body of water, the jurisdiction is ultimately responsible, even though it addressed all these issues. And the Supreme Court thought that was beyond the EPA's jurisdiction and struck that down. So it was a little bit of a win, or actually a pretty significant win for jurisdictions that I thought I'd mention.
That's very significant. Fantastic. Yeah. Hey, Jen, you'll probably talk more about that, right? Of course.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Great news. Okay. Chief Menson.
Good evening, Mayor. Just a couple things on what Mayor Pro Tem talked about. Last Thursday we had our welcome ceremony, and where we celebrated 1 promotion and 9 new hires. One of them was a reserve officer. 3 of them were officers that just graduated from the police academy, and 5 of them were lateral police officers. So over the past couple months, these are all ones we've just brought into our department. And then this morning, I actually interviewed another lateral and provided him a conditional offer of employment. So he'll be starting here in a few weeks. So it was really, really good, obviously, to get our staffing levels up. Second thing I want to talk about is cargo theft. So that continues to be a problem region-wide and also here in Chino. And so just going back in time, in 2023, our cargo theft was up nearly 200%. Last year was up an additional 14%. And this crime, it's pretty complex, and it takes some specific knowledge to be able to investigate it. So we're going about it in a bunch of different ways. On February 26th, we held our cargo theft awareness meeting. As I've talked a little bit about that, we partnered. We had the chamber involved with it. We had a representative from Michelle Rodriguez's office. There were 14 businesses that were there that were represented, and 27 people in attendance, along with a traveler's cargo theft insurance company. Really, the key areas that they talked about was identifying theft risks, implementing security best practices, and really the other big thing was developing partnerships between these businesses and law enforcement. So it's taking place all over the region. Just today, as I was sitting here, we had one reported cargo theft that took place today, or that was reported today. It was 22 pallets of underwear that was stolen, valued at $130,000. And so the shipment was headed to back to the East Coast, and when it had a tracker on it, and it was pinging somewhere in Colorado when they were able to recognize it. So it's a challenging crime because it's pretty sophisticated, using a lot of fake IDs and fake paperwork to be able to get these bills. So, but we have our detectives that are continuing to follow up on this. So that concludes my report, and happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Thank you, Kevin. Any questions or comments? Thank you.
Thank you.
Director reports. I understand we have a few this evening.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. I wanted to introduce to you one of our newest Team Chino members. This is my new Deputy Director of Human Resources and Risk Management, Crystal Murillo. And I wanted to give her a moment to come up and say hello and tell you a little bit about herself.
Okay.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council. I just wanted to thank you all so much for this wonderful opportunity. I'm so excited to be here and be a part of the Chino team. And I look forward to working here at the city, including serving the employees and the community for many years to come. So thank you so much again.
Where do you come to us from?
I came from the city of Placentia.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for introducing her.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. I have just a quick 3 updates. One good news, eucalyptus and fern, long-awaited traffic signal is finally energized. And they're on blinking lights right now, just to inform the new motorists that, hey, there's gonna be a new light. So it will be blinking until flashing red until this coming Thursday. And around between 10 and noon, we'll turn it on.
Okay.
So that'll be active. And another quick update regarding the Rialto feeder with the WFA, Water Facility Authority, closing their water production. We were able to take in water from City of Upland and City of Ontario. So about 1 million gallons a day that Rialto feeder was down. So we'll be calculating how much we owe them. So we suspect it'll be around $50,000 for total for 2 weeks, $50,000-$60,000.
Okay.
So we'll report out when we actually have actually quantity and calculate the fees. And regarding the Superior Court judgment on the Clean Water Act, our team and our environmental team was engaged with County of San Bernardino. County of San Bernardino is the permittee and permit holder, and we are the permittee under the county. So we've been educating on what kind of impact the permit will have. And there's so many unfunded mandates related to the permit. So I'm so glad that they ruled in such a manner. So we will see what they will do with the conditions of the permit with that ruling. So we're kind of still waiting to hear about what that really means for the permit that they issued to all the permittees.
What's a step in the right direction, at least?
Yes. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, thank you.
Deputy Chief Skibar.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, council, staff, and community members. The Fire District has closed the application process for new recruit firefighters. The firefighter candidates will begin testing next Monday, and we hope to fill 9 positions. As we prepare for the anticipated rain in the coming days, the Chino Valley Fire District is taking proactive measures to ensure the safety and well-being of our community. Our fire stations are stocked with sandbags and are ready to assist residents in need of these resources to help protect homes and properties from flooding. The following fire stations currently have sandbags available: Fire Station 61 on Schaefer, Fire Station 63 on Kimball, and Fire Station 67 on Riverside Drive. We encourage residents who live in flood-prone areas to take advantage of these resources and plan accordingly to ensure their safety. More information can be found on our website at cvifd.org. Lastly, the Chino Valley Fire Foundation is hosting the St. Patty's Day Brewfest fundraiser at the shops in Chino Hills on Saturday, March 8th from 4 to 7. Our very own pipes and drums will be performing live during the event. Proceeds from the event are used to continue funding community programs such as Make a Child Smile, the Heart Safe, Bleed Safe programs, and adoptive family programs, to name a few. The Fire District appreciates the council, law enforcement partners, and community support for keeping our community safe and resilient. End of report. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's all we have this evening. So our next meeting of the City Council will be a study session held on Tuesday, March 11th at 6 p.m. in these council chambers. Our next regular meeting will be held on Tuesday, March 18th at 6, with closed session starting no earlier than 4 o'clock. With that, we are adjourned.